Hey everybody, I'm finally back with an update on the cancer situation. This was supposed to be a mid-treatment update, but we're actually close to the end of treatment. Let's get right into it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please and thank you. Love you, mean it. So as you guys know, I'm Alvin. This is TravelingABald, where we typically talk about travel, especially cruising, because that's just something we love to do on this channel. But with the unfortunate news of Alvin, myself, getting stage 3 cancer, I basically gave you all that information in the video previous to this. I will link it above, either here or there. There it is. Whatever side it is. But yeah, I gave you basically told you guys what was going on, because I was getting a lot of messages, especially about the cruise, that I still need to edit. Update. This is a totally new atmosphere. I know we have officially moved. This is the new TravelingABald Studios, headquarters, whatever you want to call it. We are still in progress of getting things situated. But do y'all like it so far? I'm kind of loving this new setup. I like it. It gives me my little extra space, so now I can record a little bit more frequently from home, because previously we were in the dining room that I basically turned into a studio / office. Anywho, let's get back into the update on this whole cancer situation. So, like I said, this was supposed to be a mid-treatment video, but life pushed that back. And what am I talking about? So my energy was kind of low, and I was going through, I guess, the heaviest symptoms of my radiation, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And so it just wasn't gonna happen. As well, Alvin didn't have a haircut at the time, even though I had a haircut a week ago, and my hair is already growing back. It seems like as soon as I get a haircut, my hair grows fast, and then it get to this point where it just stops growing, and then I look like a munchkin or something like that. I really don't know what it is, but I didn't have a haircut, and it was at that point to where it just stopped growing, and it looked whatever. So yeah, that's why we're now closer to the end of treatment, and that's why you're just now getting this video. Anywho, back into the update. So let's start with chemo. Chemo is done. I had 2 cycles, or 4, I guess you could say, cycles of chemo. And basically, like I told you before, when I went into chemo the first time, I had a 30-minute session at the actual hospital, and then they sent me home with a bag, and that bag had a pump in it, and I kept that pump. It was connected to my port here on my chest for about a week. And so I had that. I guess you can count that as 1 session. They counted as 1, I counted as 2, because the 30-minute and then the week-long session. And then I had last week, I want to say, was my 2nd session of chemo, and that's basically it, which was the same thing, 30-minute session at the hospital, and I take the pump home for about a week. Now, since that's done, I'm not fully done with treatment yet, because I still have radiation. Now, radiation, I have 30 total treatments of radiation, and now we're at the last week. So it's finally getting down to that period where I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, because when I tell you I am over this radiation, I am over it. And anybody that has gone through radiation will kind of know what I'm talking about when I talk about skin irritation, all of that kind of stuff. It is nothing to play with. I will not wish it on my worst enemy, because it is not fun. But like I said, the light at the end of the tunnel is showing. I can see it, and I'm ready to be done with it. How did chemo make me feel? Now, let's start with this, because I feel like I guess I can't say an unbiased opinion, but my chemotherapy wasn't as bad as most. Um, Before, when I first heard about the news, my doctor was basically saying that I was possibly going to be having chemo about 30 sessions, 30 small sessions, uh, basically just as long as I had radiation. So basically, the story was I would basically do radiation and then leave the hospital and go do chemo, or vice versa, do chemo and then go to radiation. And that would basically be my schedule for like 30 days straight. But he said it could have been just 20 chemo sessions and then radiation would still be 30. So that was in the beginning. But then as things progressed and got more PET scans and all that kind of stuff, and they basically was able to track and see what this tumor was doing and all that kind of stuff, basically I went down to 2 sessions. So yeah, so the 30-minute session at the hospital, the week long with the bag, I did that twice. Now with radiation was totally different. Now radiation, I basically 30 sessions of that, and the first week it was, you couldn't really tell anything. It was still happy-go-lucky. No really symptoms of anything. And even with chemo, no really symptoms, because it wasn't, my chemo treatments wasn't aggressive at all. I feel like my chemo treatments was basically just to assist, basically help kick off the radiation, to hit my tumor hard in the beginning. And then the second session of my chemo, I feel like, was to just make sure we got to the progress level that they were expecting, because my chemo wasn't as aggressive at all as it could have been. But with radiation, the first week really didn't feel anything. You don't really feel anything during radiation. I guess I could change that answer, but I'll explain that in a second. So the first week, you didn't really feel anything. No really symptoms from radiation. Week 2, a couple of my radiation sessions were, I could feel a little bit of heat, I guess, if that makes sense. I guess you'll have to understand how radiation works to know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to say this as a joke, but not really mean it as a joke. If you understand my personality, I guess you'll get it. But just imagine putting yourself in a microwave. The first week, I didn't really feel nothing. The second week, I felt a little heat. This is a bad analogy, I know it is. Anywho, the first week didn't feel nothing. Second week felt a little bit of heat. The third week is when I started getting symptoms, and still the same amount of heat. And when I say heat, it was just my body I felt a temperature change in my body during the session of radiation. Now, symptoms wise, that third week I ran into, and I hope you got a little strong stomach, because here it is. Diarrhea was like abrupt. It was like, here I am and I'm in full effect. Pepto-Bismol didn't work. Imodium took a while. And when I say a while, it took like a day or two, and then the Imodium actually started working. And I felt like if the Imodium wasn't working, we was gonna have major issues. Cause just imagine having diarrhea for a couple days and how that area feels back there, but add on the irritation from having radiation for a couple weeks. As far as, if you can't imagine it because you haven't went through radiation just previous before this, I haven't either. Just imagine yourself having like either it already being a 2nd degree burn in that area on top of the irritation from diarrhea. Or, I know this is graphic, I'm sorry, but I wanted to explain it to you guys because previous to this, I didn't know any of this because I've never personally went through somebody either going through chemo and radiation. So I wanted to let you guys know, just in case you don't know, you could at least have some type of idea, even though it's not the sexiest thing. Anywho, but yeah, it kind of, skin starts to peel away. I've noticed in the area that I'm getting radiation, a layer or two of skin is starting to get pulled away. It is very irritated, and especially in the area that I'm getting. My tumor is basically, I'll show you. My tumor is basically right here. So right at the, can you see that? No, my microphone is in the way. My tumor is basically right here. So like right at the top of my like butt is my tumor. So that whole area is getting radiated. So in between the crevices in the front and the crevice in the back, without being too detailed, all that is irritated. And so in that area, there's a layer or two of skin that may have been irritated enough to start being pulled away, which that's why I say it feels like a 2nd-degree burn on top of the excessive bathroom breaks. So it adds on to that. So pain medication and keeping the area moisturized has definitely been a focus. And so now I feel like that's enough. We've talked about that enough. So what's next? I'm in basically the last, as in sports, you'll say like 4th quarter. I'm sorry, it's football reference. But 4th quarter is basically like okay, we almost done. And so I have about a week left of radiation. At the end of it, I can ring my bell. I always thought that when you rung the bell, it was because you had all your testing done and you're cancer free. But now I've realized that ringing the bell means you're done with treatment. So I get to ring the bell in a few, and that will be in my next update. I'll show you some footage of that. But yeah, I'm almost done, which is great. I can go back to somewhat living a regular life until we get this treatment up. Oh, to finish what's next. So I have to have another PET scan. So obviously I can see if the tumor is still there, and if it is there, how big it is and how active it is. And then we'll determine if I still need some more treatments or surgery or all that good stuff. But they can't do that until about 2 to 3 months after I finish radiation. And the reason being is because with the irritated area from radiation, they basically, the PET scan would just pick all of that up as well as the tumor, and so they wouldn't be able to see basically the information that they need to see. Basically, to be like playing peekaboo with the tumor that may or may not be there because of the radiation. So they have to wait a month or two to see if the tumor is still there, and if it is, then they can decide what to do next. But from the words of my chemo doctor, it should be wiped out. It should be gone in 2 to 3 months. When I get that scan, I should be easy peasy, gone, not having to worry about it. And so we'll go from there. But as of now, I have a week left of radiation. After that, it is looking like my radiation doctor has told me that it'll take about a week or two to have all my irritated skin kind of worked out and be back to moving around as usual, stuff like that. So yes, have I been tired the last couple weeks? Yes. Has my skin been irritated? Yes. Have my spirits gotten down? Not so much, just because I know day by day, literally day by day, especially Monday through Friday, I know that treatment is getting done and I'm making progress on getting back like 100% on my feet. So have there been moments where it's like, Jesus, this is irritating? Yes, absolutely. But will I get through it? Absolutely. And I thank y'all for all the comments and well wishes and messages on Instagram and all that kind of stuff from the last video I posted. That really meant a lot. So thank you guys. And yeah, I know we was all over the place in this video, and y'all get to know with my personality that's not gonna change. So yeah, this was just an update to let you guys know what was going on. I'm almost done with treatment. The next video you will be able to see, I will be ringing the bell. You can ring my bell. Yeah, so yeah, ringing the bell 2 weeks after. I'll give you guys another update. Hopefully by then this area is a little bit more put together. It is still a work in progress. We only been in here probably about, has it been a full month? I feel like it's kind of been a full month, but keep in mind I've been going through treatment and stuff like that, so a lot of my time has been sleep. So I haven't been able to put this area together as I wanted to, but lately I have been making very strong progress. So hopefully by next time you will see some more updates with this. So yeah. Oh, and next time I guess I can explain how chemo and radiation work, at least with the chemo and radiation that I had, as far as like I can show you maybe a picture of the machine and all that good stuff. Yeah, we'll see. I will see you guys next time. And of course, I promise I have that Carnival. What did we just go on? The Carnival Conquest vlogs out soon. I will start to work on that soon. So yeah. See you next time. Bye. You can ring my bell. Ring my bell.